Okay, this is Prelab, magnesium plus oxygen. I've had 3 Prelabs, but that was an introduction to lab work. This is actually an introduction, this is actually a Prelab. This is actually an introduction to the lab you're doing today, so you have some kind of ideas of what you're doing. So you can notice what's happening in nature. One of the things about observing nature is, you have to be given a hint as to what it is you're observing. How many people understand that things happen in nature and you never see it? Yeah. Has anybody ever seen a sparkler? Yeah. Celebration sparklers, and you wave them? Do you know what that is? That's little bits of magnesium reacting with atmospheric oxygen to produce magnesium oxide. So the smoke you get from that is magnesium oxide. You get it? Yeah. Do you ever hear magnesium hydride? If you take magnesium oxide and produce it and add it to water, what do you get? I'll give you a hint. What class of chemicals are metal oxides, like magnesium oxide? What class of chemicals? We did this in chapter 7. That's correct, Abdullah. It is called base anhydrides. So if you hydrate a base anhydride, what do you get? A base. The old way of taking care of excess stomach acid, before they developed things that prevent the production of acid to begin with, you simply got rid of the excess acid by taking a base. It was always a neutralization reaction. Clear? How many people have ever taken something for stomach acid? They feel little, then their parents give them something, you chew it, and you feel better. Anybody raise your hand? Yeah, that's amazing that you guys all read. That's just the base that you're taking to neutralize. It's a neutralization reaction. Double displacement, the second reaction I listed on the resource is a neutralization reaction. You take the acid, you add a base. So if I take magnesium oxide, mix it with water, I produce magnesium hydroxide. If I drink magnesium hydroxide, it neutralizes the base. They used to sell, they still sell. How many people have ever seen a blue bottle that says Phillips milk of magnesia? Anybody? Raise your hand. Anna? Yep? Yeah. Well, some of you have. Well, what is Phillips milk of magnesia? It is only solely, specifically, with a few things added to make it, not settle. We'll talk about it in chapter 13. It's what? It's magnesium hydroxide. Phillips milk of magnesia is magnesium hydroxide. What can you also use magnesium hydroxide for? You can use it as a laxative. Why can you use it as a laxative? Well, there's something about, and we're not going to talk about it for a long time here, but there's something about magnesium that will inhibit your colon from absorbing the water from the sludge in your colon that's produced in the small intestines. Clear? When you evacuate the water and you reabsorb it in the body, the stool becomes harder, and then you evacuate it. Clear? And it's a relationship from biology. Remember, when you have a bacteria that serves your needs, and you serve the needs of the bacteria, that's a certain type of relationship. You ever hear of yogurt? Well, in yogurt is a bacteria. That's what yogurt is. Can you imagine you're eating bacteria? Yes? And yogurt is bacteria that's consistent with the bacteria in your colon. That's why it's so good to eat, especially if you're taking an antibiotic and things. It's good stuff. Yes? Because you can't produce everything from normal chemical reactions. The bacteria will produce chemicals that help support your life. Interesting. So magnesium is all around you. How many people have never realized how much magnesium is around them? Raise your hand. So, very good. So what you need a Prelab to give you an idea of what it is you're going to be looking for. So what I'm going to give you is, I'm going to give you some magnesium. This is just a practice lab. And you're going to burn it as we practiced. and you're going to produce magnesium oxide. So let's say I have 1 gram of magnesium. Yes? How much magnesium oxide am I going to produce? Can you use this reaction to determine that, yes or no? Look at the reaction carefully. Can you use it? Is there something wrong with it? Martha, what's wrong?
You need to balance it.
Martha is a 9th grader. I am impressed. Clear? Now, how do you balance it? Anybody? Haley? Go ahead.
You have 2 oxygen atoms on the reactant side, so first multiply 2 to magnesium oxide.
Good.
And now you have 2 magnesium atoms, so...
Excellent. Well done. Well done. Very good. Now, I've got to predict, and this is all, we've been doing this, but you're kind of like putting things together now. I've got to predict how much magnesium oxide I'm actually going to produce so I can compare what I produced with what should have been produced. Theoretical yield. Ever hear of it? Yeah, you have. Don't shake your head no, because it's in the chapter. Okay. So, what's the constant ratio? Magnesium to magnesium oxide, correct? What do we have to do before we start writing the constant ratios? What is the mass of 2 moles of magnesium? What's the mass number for magnesium? Keep this simple. Just use mass numbers. It's what? It's 24, right? What's 24 times 2? You're way ahead of us. Abdullah, 48. Abdullah and Haley, I want to see you after class. Understood? Okay. So, what is the mass of oxygen? What's 1 mole of oxygen? What is it?
16.
Oxygen is 16. Open your peepers. You want mass numbers. Yes? Yes? What's 48 plus 32? 80. Good. Let's double check though. Maybe this is wrong. Yes? What's 24 plus 16? What's 24 plus 16? Mental math, guys. 48. Were you in Miss Dina's class just a minute ago? Last period? Yes? Yes? What's more important? Reading, writing, speaking in public about things that you learned in Miss Dina's class? Yes? Yes, and basic math, mental math. Yes, more important than chemistry. Okay? Yes? So what is 2 times 40? 80, so we're right. Yes? You have to make sure you observe the law of conservation of mass. Clear? You with me? Kaylee? Excellent. Okay. Now we can do it. The ratio is 2mg over 2 MgO yields what? 48 over 80 equals what? What are we comparing? What did I do wrong? What is it?
Low battery on the camera.
Low battery, it says. Okay, let me hook it up. Okay, shall we do part 1? We'll turn it off, hook up to the battery. Is that okay? All right. All right. Still working. So I'm going to turn it off.